So, man, there's something about your career that I find is really interesting. Obviously, tremendous player, tremendous musician, but there's a time earlier in your life when you were much, much younger that people were telling you that you can't do this.
Oh, yeah. Especially in Switzerland, where I'm from, you know.
So was it a cultural thing? Like, why do you think that came around?
Yeah, no, it's. I think it's a human thing, that depending on certain geographical, cultural structures or setups, there's small town spirit. There's always like you frown on someone that like threatens you of like branching out and becoming more successful than you are. Like
that sounds like New Zealand,
leaving you behind. It's human nature. In a way, in New York, it's not like that. Some people were like a little more open-minded back in the days. I mean, New York has changed a lot. It's not the place it used to be. It's kind of like, I just say its mythology has cannibalized the city. It's really a tourist place right now. It's not. It's kind of. I don't think New York is happening, or is able to give birth to the type of magnitude of cultural stuff that changed the world like it did in the last century. That's over.
Wow.
But yeah, too much money and too much gentrification and too much. You can't really do what you want anymore. It's just unless you have a lot of money,
Okay.
and then you don't, and then you probably won't have a drive anymore to, So there's a whole. I'll just say, I mean, in a way, I feel New York. There's many things that I love about it. Being living there for like 30 years, but it helped me to make things because there was less people that told me you can't do that. And anyone who would say that would just say like, fuck off, because that's a New York thing to do. This I got to do that. And if everybody would agree with what I want to do, then probably there would be something wrong about it. So you need people who tell you can't do that, because that's basically legitimizes that you're off to something.
Yeah.
I mean, depending who like says it. But anyway, to come back, I think there was a turn in like the late '90s in New York where basically the city got more safe.
Okay, yeah.
When I first moved to New York, it was kind of, East Village was like war zone.
Okay.
I mean, you were kind of like, you had like, crackheads on your left and gangs to your right, and and cab drivers would refuse to drop you off
really
in front of your doors. I'm going to Avenue A. Avenue C is off limits. So it was like that. But you could do whatever the fuck you wanted. It's like there was this sense of freedom and adventure and boundlessness. You could just go like, okay, I choose to go to bed at 7 o'clock in the morning and get up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you could have a life like this, and that will work. You know what I'm saying? Now it's not possible anymore. Like New York is not 24 hours anymore. People go to bed,
not like that,
and get up. It's become like really 9 to 5 ish.
Really?
Yeah. So I would say it got safe enough that the 1% rolled in, or the sons and daughters of the 1%, and they came in to consume a mythological atmosphere that was created in the last century by cultural desperados, but that can no longer afford to live there anymore. So the output of New York compared to the former output, it's like, I would say it's like Jaws 4 compared to the original.